Oh yes, legends, how is everybody doing? We are going to be analyzing the price of Bitcoin right away. How is everybody doing? Let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me. Let's go. Are we live? Yes, we are. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Legends, make sure to absolutely destroy that like button because we are going to be going through the pure technical analysis, of course, on the price of Bitcoin. What were we expecting yesterday with the price action, okay? And also, what are we expecting today? What are those major levels? What are the different waves that we could be forming throughout the next couple of days, right? In between today and tomorrow, and come with some projections, right? That's what we do here on the channel. As always, let me know if you can hear me, you can see me, the voice is good. Let's go, legends. Now, first of all, I'd like to start off with what were we talking about yesterday? What are the different scenarios that could happen throughout yesterday? We're going to do a little bit of a higher time frame analysis today, but then most importantly, focus on the local area to analyze the internal waves to see, hey, you know, what is this, right? What is the next thing that could happen? Could we do this? Could we do that, right? What are the major levels that we need to pay attention with those waves using Fibonacci, of course, and the confluence levels? First of all, let's go and take a look at what was mentioned yesterday, right? Most importantly, guys, we need to go back to see, hey, you know, what you were talking about yesterday, you know, did it play out? You know, did we move as expected? And I have to say, yes, we did kind of move as expected. There was two scenarios in the bullish case here, which was forming a little bit of a contracting move here, getting a top and then reversing, right? And then maybe look for a more upside. However, we broke out pretty nicely from the highs here. We were continuing to the upside, and I wanted to consider this as a wave 3. Looking at this scenario as a 112, that was a beautiful long trading setup that was mentioned throughout yesterday's live stream, right? Looking here for that VWAP to hold very, very nicely, okay? VWAP was holding perfectly as support. That was the long trading setup here as we were hitting the 50% Fibonacci from this pivot low to the pivot high. We were looking at 50% could hold, maybe 618 could hold. If this is going to be a 112, we are expecting an explosive third wave to the upside. That did happen very, very nicely, getting that massive move of over $4,000 in a matter of a couple of hours, right? So that's kind of looking at the different projections that could happen. And this wave 3, actually, if we consider this as your first wave 1, this is your second wave 1 and 2. Your wave 3 most commonly hits the 1.618 extension from your first wave 1 and the correction to your wave 2. So you get your Fibonacci extension from the start of your second wave 1 to the end of your wave 1 right there, and then to the end of your wave 2, right? This is where we longed in the live stream yesterday, you know, speculating either in taking out the highs. I did take most of the profits here, left some open, and eventually profited from the rest of that position with the runner. Now, most commonly, where do we get a third wave? All right, third waves can go to the 2.6 extension and even higher, right? But most commonly to the 1.618. 1.618, look at this, perfect rejection at the 1.618. This was actually an acceptable short scalp. This was mentioned in the Legends trading community. Hey, we can short scalp this. It might get a move of $500 to $1,000, but we are expecting a wave 4 formation here to then get another leg to the upside. Now, you can see how this wave 3 hit the 1.618 extension, and we actually had some pretty nice resistance. There was a naked point of control here from the price action that we did have on Sunday, right? And we have that naked point of control exactly right over here where we have some lower highs. Look at this. Perfect swing failure pattern, naked point of control from Sunday, and hitting the 1.618 extension from your second wave 1 and 2, right? Absolutely beautiful how we respect these extensions, these waves. Some guy came on the comment section yesterday saying pure manipulation. Look at this. You know, it's all on the charts, right? You have a bearish scenario, you have a bullish one, and depending on the breakouts and the levels that get respected, you have awesome entries and great projected moves. I mean, if you can get into a third wave, right, that is absolutely phenomenal, right? The third waves give you the most profitable trade because it's the most extensive wave, right, in a day trade. So overall, we got that nice wave to the upside here and getting rejected perfectly at the 1.618, right? The naked point of control from Sunday, a bit of an SFP right there, absolutely beautiful. Now we formed, right, that third wave, fourth wave, and then created the next fifth wave. I like to see this as, you know, this was the fifth wave and this was the next 4 and 5. You know, the last 4 and 5 was very small. Most commonly your second 4, 5 is longer, right, than the first one, because supposedly all of this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is all 1/3 wave. All right, all of this is 1/3 wave because you got the 5 waves inside of the third wave. So what you're looking at here is 1, 2, massive third wave and a small little 4 and 5. This is a little bit extremely small, but overall, from the price action that we had yesterday, from that breakout, you know, is expecting, okay, if this is a third wave, we are expecting a 4, 5, 4, 5, right? 2 more legs to the upside after this impulsive move created yesterday that was, you know, explained in detail. We didn't have any major target zones because you never know how strong that next fifth wave is going to be. In this case, it was very strong, but overall it was the idea that we were going to form another, you know, 4, 5, 4, 5, you know, head up above $100,000 was without a doubt the option. So right now, let's just go through the price action of today, right? Throughout yesterday and today. Getting a little bit of a dump right now, getting resistance at the VWAP. And I just want to do a little update from the Legends trading community because overall there was a beautiful long position right over here, getting a swing failure pattern from these local higher lows right over there. Look at this. This is absolutely awesome. Did manage to jump into that long position very, very nicely. Aiden was providing that long setup as well. As you can see, we do have a pretty nice textbook move to the downside in a 5 wave. You can see right there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It cannot get any more textbook than this, guys. Respecting here the 50% Fibonacci, the wave 2, right? Most commonly between 50% and 7.8. Wave 4 here, coming all the way up, slightly above the 382 Fibonacci right there. Perfect, 382 and 50%, very common. And then your 5th wave, dipping ever so slightly beneath the 3rd wave and looking for that reversal to take out these local highs. I mean, this has to be one of my favorite setups, getting into a 5th wave and look for that corrective move to sweep up the highs of the 4th wave. It is very common, guys. If you can detect these kind of movements, they're absolutely awesome, right? This was a move of $1,500. It's enough to make some pretty decent profits. This is a long position that was provided on the updates today in the Legends trading community. I do the video updates, then we get Aiden providing the possible setup, right? And that is the long setup, right, that we had today in advance, right? Looking at the entries, looking at the take profit zone and getting into that trade. Aiden also providing a short setup here from the swing failure pattern from these highs, managed to enter here with a small position, very, very low. But overall, we are getting into these day trading setups. The long position, most of the profits have been taken because of the swing failure pattern that has been created. But that was the long setup here at $98,000, managing to bank, you know, a nice profit for the day, right? Nice little day trade, banking $800. And, you know, this is what we do in the Legends trading community. We actually look for the exact levels that we are interested. We do not sleep right there in the Legends trading community. Okay, so overall, just a brief explanation of what has happened today. And now on YouTube, we want to analyze, hey, what could be next, right? What could be next? What are we looking at here in the next coming hours? Can we get into another day trade setup? If you're a day trader scalper, you can get into 3, 4, maybe 5 trades in the day, maybe just 1, maybe no trade. So we need to have those levels, right? Very, very, you know, nicely on the chart, have a good plan, and then execute that trading plan, correct? Right? So we'll be analyzing a little bit here on the higher time frame. There's no quick trading setup at the moment that I'm going to give you right now where we at, okay? So I'm just going to do a little bit of higher time frame. There could be a potential higher low here and form a 3-wave structure just because we've moved down in a 5-waver here. However, if this is going to be a B wave, B waves can be very, very complex, okay? They can be very difficult because they might just bounce at the 50% Fibonacci. They might just claim the low and form a flat, right? They're very, very complex to trade if this were to be a B wave. So let's just zoom in here on the higher time frames. I'm going to explain a little bit my thoughts on, basically what's happening, right? I think we already know, because higher time frame, nothing as much has changed, right? When we analyze the last few weeks of price action. Very unlikely that this has been the top for Bitcoin, right? Let's leave it that way, and that we should be hitting all-time highs in the next coming weeks. Now, that has to do with two movements that have happened throughout January, okay? Throughout January, I don't like this movement to the upside to be an impulse, okay? It just does not fit very nicely analyzing the waves. There is a way to count this as a 5-wave move here to the upside. There is a way. However, it just does not look too nice according to the timing, right? The third wave, it just doesn't look too beautiful in my opinion. But most importantly, if you have doubts in a movement to the upside, then you need to analyze the movement to the downside, right? So the movement to the downside is really giving me the information that I need to know that all of this is just going to be a large chopping range, and this is extremely corrective, and that we are likely going to be heading to all-time high in the next couple of weeks. Now, I don't care about if we break down or if we break up. I know there's higher probability that whatever happens in this range, we will end up hitting all-time high, just because of the movement from all-time high here to the lows, basically from yesterday, Monday. This is still very corrective. There is a bearish case scenario, but the ones that we have been explaining, looking for possible double 1-2s, this 1-2 right there is kind of not possible, just because there's no proper counts in this range to see this as a 1-2, 1-2. So the highest probability one, if the bearish case were to play out, is looking at from the all-time highs, this as a wave 1. You have a running flat right over here, and then this is your second wave 1 and then 2. Now, wave 1 would be this one, wave 2 would be this one, this would be your second wave 1 and 2. And then eventually in the next coming days, we start breaking down very aggressively in 5 waves to complete a third wave. I don't think this is going to be the highest probability scenario, but it's something that we always need to take into consideration. Never be extremely bullish and only bullish, or never be extremely bearish and only bearish. You need to really analyze both possibilities in the case of the high time frame. And I think that this scenario, looking at, we were very much confident since we were creating this movement, right? Very 3-wavy. This to be bearish is highly unlikely, okay? Now, of course, when you have doubts of a 3-waver, then you have to start thinking of double 1-2s, right? And to come into the foot, basically realize that, there might be a chance for the bears. There might be a chance, okay? However, I think it is highly unlikely. And what is being forming here is extremely corrective. Now, we are forming multiple waves here in 3 wavers, right? You could arguably discuss that, from all-time high, it's getting very choppy, right? You have a possible 3-waver right over here. You have another 3-waver right over here. This does count best as a 5-waver. This has been, getting me very, very distracted. This would be a massive 5th wave. I mean, this just got into a waterfall. So there's no real proper ways in counting. This is all one wave, right? From this zone, this is all one wave down. There's no big major corrections, okay? There's just very, very waterfally. So you have to come to the conclusion that, maybe this is a kind of a 5-waver with a very extensive 5th wave. Regardless, we are counting these scenarios from way back, right? So from the highs. Now, if we do consider this being an ABC, could it be possible from the previous all-time high created in December, which we were very much confident that all-time highs were going to happen when we were trading here in this zone? That had to do with this movement down, with this movement up. This did not look impulsive. There was too many microwaves. This did look better as a WXY, okay, double zigzag. We were counting the scenarios and realizing that this was likely going to be corrective and that we were going to end up claiming all-time high. Now, when we do analyze this scenario, right, we have that 3-waver move to the downside. Very, very nice, very easy to, well, not extremely easy, but overall, you realize how this was the higher probability. You got a 3-waver here as you do take out the low in the end, and forming as a flat scenario right over here in your B wave, right? So now with this movement up, you've claimed the highs. This can be counted as a 3-waver as well. Not the most beautiful one, but yes, you can count it as a 3-waver. So now the question is, could this be a large ABC flat? Okay, right over here. I think there is a possibility, especially with this latest move down that we've had. That is, without a doubt, very disturbing how we waterfalled here throughout Sunday, the beginning of Monday. Because you can technically count, okay, a 5-waver with an extensive 5th wave, which is rare, but it's possible. As long as your 3rd wave is not the smallest, and as you can see here, compared to your wave 1, it is not. It is a possibility, right? There's no other major way here to count this as a 3-waver or a 5. It is a 5-waver with an extensive 5th wave. So as we consider this possible move to the downside, you know, I'm looking at the highs right there. Hey, could it be that we formed right over here, your movement here to the downside, your bounce, another movement down, and a 5-waver move? Could this be the end of an ABC? Well, it's not really possible because you don't have in your wave C a clear 5-wave move to the downside. So it's, you know, it wouldn't be possible for me to believe that this has been the end on an ABC in a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in your C wave, considering this an ABC flat, just because in this C wave there is not a proper 5-wave impulsive move down. It is very choppy. It is, you know, there's a lot of 3 waves in the middle, and there's no way in counting a 5 solid wave move here to the downside, considering this a large ABC. So that is off the situation, right? I don't see this as being the low on the C wave, and we're going to absolutely rock it from here in the next coming days. I don't see that very likely, considering that this was the end of the correction. Now, that doesn't mean that this could not be the low. I think this could be the low. However, we're going to continue ranging here for the next coming days and till we actually hit all-time high, or maybe come down to the low. So overall, we need a little bit of more information on the next waves to try and analyze, you know, what is highly likely. Are we going to, you know, finally come to all-time highs in the next coming days, or are we going to break down to the lows? Now, this is why we focus on the local range, right? Just like yesterday on the live stream, we are day traders, we are scalpers, we look for the internal levels, right, on the different scenarios that could happen live. This is what we do best. So for me right now, looking at the chart on the higher time frames, there is a high chance that we could be ranging still for the next coming days till we actually see a huge movement either to the upside or a huge movement to the downside, especially because we did get that volatility on Sunday. So we had that volatile move. We got a nice V shape. I think, you know, this is classic price action to be a little bit rangy and have just a few movements of several $1,000s, right? Not being, you know, I wouldn't expect a $10,000 move throughout today and tomorrow, right? It's going to be very, very kind of boring, you know, no big major volatility to happen throughout today and tomorrow, in my opinion. So what we need to focus on is the lower time frames. We need to really focus on the lower time frames and really, you know, kind of come to the conclusion of, you know, what has happened throughout yesterday, what has happened throughout today, and where are the major opportunities, right? So I have to say this was a pretty aggressive long scenario, you know, really aware of that possible zigzag here, you know, really aware of a possible zigzag or either a flat. But if this is a B wave, you know, they are complex. They could take out the low, form a flat, then get the movement down. They're just not easy. Okay, so overall, with this big movement to the upside, which is beautiful, absolutely beautiful, guys, to count as an impulse, right? You got your double 1-2, you got your second 1-2 right there, forming your third wave, and then a small 4-5 to the upside. Now, what I do see here what I do see here, as we've been talking about throughout today in the Legends trading community, is a 5-wave move down. There's, you know, this is textbook. This is pure textbook Elliott wave theory, where you just have a beautiful 5-wave move, in this case to the downside, respecting the fib levels very, very nicely, and getting that bounce. Of course, you know, you're already claiming that 4th wave, right? When you form 5 waves, most commonly the correction comes down to the 4th wave. In this case, comes up to the 4th wave, which is right over here, right? So now my question is, was this the zigzaggy move, right? Was this the zigzaggy move? And now we're just going to roll down very aggressively to form that next wave, right? Either, you know, an ABC, right, very aggressively, or are we going to manage to get one more little push to the upside, right? We're going to form a proper longer zigzag, right? More in structure with the movement down, right? This would be kind of the scenario looking at Elliott wave theory. You know, are we still in that A wave? Are we going to form B, and are we going to form C? That is my conclusion right over here. And what we need to take into consideration, most importantly, is the confluence levels, right? The confluence levels are the ones that are interesting for us to take that trading setup. Now, in this case, the long setup, you may ask me, hey, why did you get into that long setup, right? Why was the long setup here provided in the Legends trading community? Is there an explanation behind this long setup that we have been taking out today? Well, eventually, it's that one right over here that I'm giving you right now. All of this is keeping it educational, guys, so you can actually see, okay, wow, well, this is the reason why. Well, this is why the price bounced here. This is why you longed here and your stop loss was here. And this is why you took profits right over there. So overall, you know, I like to keep it very, very educational at the beginning of the stream, giving the explanations on why, you know, the reasons why behind the setups. Okay, it's very important for me to provide that information, and this is, you know, very, very important, so you can actually fish for your own in the very near future. Make sure to get your cup of tea, your coffee, your tonic water, or whatever you want. I'm drinking tonic water today. I felt like a little bit of a fizzy drink, and I'll go through the comment section, then we'll analyze a little bit of the waves. It does look like that there could be a possibility, because inside of this zone, right, we're just doing micro counts here. Inside of this, we could be seeing a little bit of a 5-waver that is completing your A wave. A waves have 5 waves here, and maybe we formed that, you know, zigzag. I have to say, you know, this was a little bit of an aggressive long, but overall we could be breaking out here in the next coming hours to the upside. Okay, so overall, if you got into a short, I'm keeping defensive that short position. I didn't like it too much, just because, you know, it got an SFP and it got a rejection of a few $100s. You know, it did go down $600-700. You know, it's nice for a scalp, but be defensive, just being aware of the outcome that could come in the next coming minutes, right? Next coming hours. So overall, if this were to be a nice 5-wave move to the upside, we've got a zigzag right there. Hey, maybe we are going to be forming a little bit of a, you know, movement up like this in a 5-waver, right? Where we are looking for that higher time frame ABC scenario, right? Maybe this is a possibility that could happen here in the next coming hours, right? So that is something that I will be paying attention. All right, we want to see those beautiful 5 waves. We want to see the construction of those waves. We want to see the construction of those waves so we can actually, you know, predict where the price could be topping out with any confluence zones that we do have here on the chart. Basically, the same scenario that we mentioned today in the Legends trading community. We are waiting here because the price action was trading at this zone when we provided the update. And yes, I am looking for the price to take out this low at some point. And that potentially could be the end of the 5th wave. And if it's the end of the 5th wave, I am looking for the price to get a bounce and most commonly hit that 4th wave. Okay, this is a very, very common target. Okay, if you're looking for a 5th wave to end. Now, of course, in that 5th wave, you want to have your confluence levels, right? What are your confluence levels? Well, your confluence levels in this case would be a classic sweep of a higher lows that we had here from yesterday. I love these levels. I do explain this zone as being a good entry zone for a swing failure pattern, basically, because When you form an uptrend and you have major moves to the upside and you get those small little consolidations and you do get continuation to the upside, very, very, very commonly the sweep of these lows do get a reaction bounce. And if you coming down in a 5-wave move to the downside and you sweep up those lows, you know, I like that as a nice trade setup, at least to come up to this lower high right there, which would be your 4th wave, right? This is, you know, very, very nice day trading kind of strategy right there. And this always forms on the chart, right? To the downside or to the upside, right? You get those bounces, but you form that lower high, and at some point you're going to come in and claim it, and you got a really nice, beautiful risk management trade because you're entering on the rejection, in this case on a downtrend, right? So this is literally this explanation, right? This explanation is literally what happened right over here. The main cause of this bounce at $98,000, because you formed a 5-wave move. You're looking for that 5th wave to end, and you do have the sweep of these lows that usually are very good to get a reaction bounce, right? That is literally it from this day trading setup. You did have some pretty nice bullish CVD divergence on the formation here, which were very, very nice. We basically take a look at the CVD, and you can see here from these pivot lows, right, these higher lows that you do have on the, you know, depending on where you're looking at CVD, you got CoinGlass, XOchart, AGGR. There's many different websites where you can find CVD divergence. In this case, AGGR.trade is for free, and you can see how you were forming, all right, those lower lows on the CVD right over here. You got some beautiful lower lows on the CVD from all of these pivots, right? All of these different pivots. You got some really nice lower lows on the CVD, giving you a high chance that the price, you know, at some point you're going to get that reversal bounce. So right now the price is moving up. I stayed defensive with that short trading setup. You know, this is the main reason when you get into a short position here, even though you do swing failure pattern, right? You want to be defensive, put your stop loss near the break even, or, you know, or even scratch some profits, because the main reason why is you possibly have either I think the stock market is opening now. Yeah, let's take a look at stock market. Are we getting a little bit of a move here to the upside? We got the stock market open right now. But yeah, the main reason why this this pullback could have formed a higher low, it is aggressive for an entry, but when you do the micro counts, you know, this would have been an acceptable long trading setup. VWAP, yeah, broke the VWAP very, very nicely. Nothing to do right now with this pump. We're going to be analyzing very carefully how we could be moving in the next coming hours to look at different levels, and if this could still be a corrective move. Wow, massive volume kicking in here on Bybit. Lots of longs entering right now as we speak. Wow, 37 million long positions. Yeah, the CVD is going to go absolutely bananas. That could be forming some bearish ones. So this is going to be very, very interesting. Very, very interesting, because CVD is going absolutely bananas. We could be possibly reaching higher highs here on the CVD. I think on other exchanges we are also getting some pretty aggressive longs, not as much as on Bybit. We've got 37 million longs, 39 right now, and counting on this pump right over here. So lots and lots of longs entering here on Bybit. This is going to be interesting because, you know, I do see this as a very, very 5-wave move down, and I'm going to consider this being highly likely an A wave. I'm going to consider this highly likely being an A wave or a 1-wave. Right, regardless of this pump, I do see this still very 1-wavy. Now, if we are going to consider, you know, for the moment, I will consider it as an A wave, just because all of this movement to the upside looks pretty impulsive, right? We had the multiple 1 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 4 5, right? All of this structure looks pretty damn impulsive. So if we do take a look at this movement down, it is very 5-wavy, right? It is very, very 5-wavy, and I am considering this as a possible A wave. And what is going to be forming here is a B wave, right? Now, very, very difficult on the B wave because B waves could claim the high, it could form a lower high. So we really need to analyze the levels of confluence and analyze the local waves. If we start moving up like this in a 5 wave move, then I'm going to say, yeah, this is looking very, very nice to jump into that short position as we do finish that 5th wave. Okay, so the next information that the chart gives us is going to be very important to consider a short, right? Not jumping in a short right now, not jumping in a long position, just realizing that this could be the end stages at some point of this wave and then come down and claim the lows. All right, so overall, this is not a move that I would be extremely bullish and excited about to claim the highs, even though it could, just because if it could, then I would be even looking for an ABC flat. If we do come up to the highs very rapidly in the next coming hours, I am considering a double top. I am considering a double top for a flat here. And the main reason why is because this wave right over here has been just a little bit too fast. When we do take a look at the Fibonacci timing, and the timing is very important for the corrections or the impulsive moves from the lows here created on Monday to the highs created here late Monday, we just we did pass the 0.382. The 382, this is a minimum target, but I do see this as a very 5 waver. I don't see this as an end of a correction. It's not 3 wavy, it is more 5 wavy, and it's beautiful 5 wave. You can clearly see this on the 5-minute time frame. So I'm very, very skeptical on, the timing is good, my bad. The timing is actually good as we did create that 5th wave after the 382 time. So the timing is already acceptable. But this to be a corrective move in a zigzag, for me, it's very 1 wavy. So I am kind of expecting, this is what I'm speculating on, that these lows will likely be claimed at some point, maybe in between today and tomorrow. So I am interested in looking for short positions. Remember, we are day traders. We analyze the local internal waves. So, a long position right over here, long position right over here. I missed out. I mean, this was already late. I was in bed and did not manage to short here right there. But this was a beautiful short because this actually swing faded pattern from this zone. But I think we had a naked point of control as well. Yeah, we did have a naked point of control right over here. I was just already in bed, guys, but would have been a very, very acceptable short trading setup as we do hit a naked point of control to perfection right there. And we are basically swing failure patterning from these highs, right? So overall, it would have been a very nice short trade, especially considering the internal waves here, okay? Especially considering 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 4 5, right? You got a completion here of an impulse and you basically getting rejected at the naked point of control. That was really, really a good short opportunity at $102,000. Anyway, that's, I did not short here, but I would have done if I would have been awake in front of the charts. I would have been analyzing the levels, but this is what we do. We look for shorts and longs, and we look for projections of, $1, 2, maybe $3,000. We might get that move. So right now we are breaking out here. It's a little bit of an inverted head and shoulder, right? This is very common as well to see on a ABC scenario. Why? Because you do have your 3, 4, 5, and then you get your A wave get above slightly the 4th wave, and then you get the A, B, C kind of scenario. And inverted head and shoulders are very common when you are in a corrective move, right? Because you form that ABC, you form an inverted head and shoulder, right? So which goes pair to pair here with Elliott wave theory and happens many, many times. Now, let's go right away through this pump right over here that it is getting. It is getting punchy. Let's analyze a little bit of the previous day value levels, daily open, right? Because we do have today's levels right over here. Daily open would be extremely interesting. Would be interesting, that daily level. If we do take a look at the session volume profile, there's a nice consolidation, but we do not have a high volume node, right? Because we just opened right over here after this consolidation. So we'd have to get a fixed volume profile to analyze this consolidation between yesterday and today. High volume node all the way up here. Okay. it would be, you know, it is a nice level. I have to say, it is a nice level. We always like a nice high volume node from a consolidation. It's slightly below the 0.88 Fibonacci from the movement down. It is too far away. I wouldn't think that the price would manage to reach there. Okay, I would be more interested in the 7.8 Fibonacci with the daily open. Yeah, this is gonna be the difficult part here. All right, this is gonna be the difficult part because there is a possibility that we are forming an ABC here. All right, I am leaning. I don't think that this is a wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, 4, 5, right? And we're moving impulsively just because we got a nice 5-wave move here to the upside, to the downside, which I believe is an A wave. You know, just looking at the analysis and realizing that whatever could happen here is very likely going to be a B wave, and that these lows will be hit. And especially if we do get these amounts of longs entering the market, we're going to be forming some pretty brutal bearish CVD divergence if we do continue seeing these longs on Bybit. They're basically going to get trapped. I don't know how many longs have been entering right now, but this is a full recipe for an extreme reversal dump to claim the lows. Okay, so anyway, it's going to be analyzing the best levels here. Now, for the moment, the price action is pretty punchy to the upside. I think there's going to be several longs still trying to pump the price up to go to higher levels. So we need to really analyze a little bit what's happening here locally. This movement to the upside is an absolute beauty to count as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 A, B, C. You kind of already got your A wave, your B wave, and now we're looking for that C wave. Now, most commonly, C waves do get to the 1, 2, 3, 6, even 1, 3, 8, 2 Fibonacci extension from the start, from your A wave to the end of your A wave to the end of the B wave. So yeah, this would be absolutely great zone to start speculating for shorts. Okay, so I mean, let's see. I do think that we could get that push here to the upside, and I would expect that we do get massive bearish CVD divergence. Longs on Bybit are going absolutely bananas, and we might get that extra push to the upside to start forming some bearish CVD divergence. We're already getting bearish CVD divergence as we speak from this high, so it is official. We do have bearish CVD divergence. Too many longs entering right now. And something interesting that is going to be here is looking at the liquidity, right? Looking at the lots of liquidity sitting here beneath those lows of today, right? If we do take a look at the last 24 hours price action, oh my goodness, we are basically, yeah, forming lots of liquidity beneath $98,000. There is some liquidity to the upside, but not as much. Let's just ever so slightly zoom out here on the liquidity on the last couple of days. Yeah, liquidity to the downside looks a little bit, well, there's lots here at 92. I'm not sure if we'll get to 92 today. But yeah, it's looking at the last 24 hours, considering those day trading setups, most of the liquidity is lying beneath us at $98,000. So overall, would be nice to see, you know, this movement to the upside has been relatively impulsive. You know, it's been quite impulsive. It's been pretty nice. Lots of volume here. Oh, with this kind of structure, I am really in doubt that this is going to successfully move to higher levels. So I need to be really patient and form a plan here with you guys live on the stream to basically find out where I would get into my next day trade setup. And I am interested in shorts. I'm just aware of the price action pumping up here very, very nicely, right? The price is pumping up. And most commonly for your C wave, you would be hitting the 1236, 1382, which is aligning with the daily open. There's not much more resistance. We don't have a daily up there. We don't have, let's go to the daily chart. Yeah, there's not really much resistance. So it's not going to be an easy an easy trade. It's not going to be an easy trade, and we are pumping here very, very nicely. The bearish CVD divergence will be still continuing to form. We are going to continue forming bearish CVDs, and this is, I can tell you, a perfect recipe for a reversal. However, we need to analyze very, very carefully here. This would be that orange box would be the interest zone. If we reverse from here, then so be it. So be it. Let's take a look at Fibonacci from the highs of yesterday to the lows. We just ever so slightly crossed the 50% Fibonacci. Not getting much of a reaction. 618 Fibonacci is with the 1-to-1 extension. When we take a look at the 1-to-1 extension, it is basically from this move. The 1-to-1 is sitting right over here with the golden pocket from the recent drop. It could be a scenario. It could be a scenario. Bearish CVD divergence are building up from this pivot, and soon from this pivot if we continue to the upside. And this does look like we could be forming that ABC. Now let's take a look at the inverted head and shoulder target, right? Inverted head and shoulder target zone. Inverted head and shoulder right there with the neckline. It is coming up to the daily open. Daily open is without a doubt a nice level, as we do have the 7-8 Fibonacci also with that daily open. It is the target of this pattern, this inverted head and shoulder that we formed here locally. I'm not a huge fan of this, guys, I have to say. Basically analyzing the waves, and you know that this could top out at some point here in this zone, and there's no inverted head and shoulder that is gonna, you know, break up to much higher levels. Okay, so there is danger here for a reversal to come down and sweep up the lows. Based on this analysis, when we do zoom out, it would make sense for a more of a zigzaggy move in between today and tomorrow. So any breakout traders from a head and shoulder pattern needs to be aware and really take into consideration this right over here. Very aggressive. I mean, yeah, this is no easy short. Okay, if we start breaking down from here, this was not an easy short to enter based on stop loss. Let me just zoom in here on the lower time frames. I think we could get a bounce. Here at the neckline. We already got one bounce. Moved, tested the highs. When we moved down and up here a couple of times, I don't like it. I mean, this would have been your aggressive quick scalp, right? You got your inverted head and shoulder neckline. You come down to the base after the breakout. Boom, 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 right? It's a move of $600. I mean, if you are quick and you're a sniper, that was your chance, and get out at the highs. Because you SFP'd from the highs, literally. There's too many longs entering here that could get extremely wrecked here, guys. You know, this is no level to long, in my opinion. I am aware of the full reversal that could happen based on this analysis, right? Really looking at the possibility of the price forming an ABC scenario here. So preferably we do go to slightly higher levels. We need to consider the waves that we formed here. Yeah, we can consider this as a wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, and if you do take out the highs, could be still that wave 5, either SFPing from the highs or getting a slightly higher push and form that 5th wave. This is going to be very, very interesting, because what we do have is the golden pocket with the 1-to-1 extension. I would want to see higher. This is going to be a little bit of a complex short. Not going to be easy. But golden pocket and the 1-to-1 extension would be your first attempt on the reaction. And on the reaction means, you know, basically you short the rejection from the 618. This would be your best fib level to consider that. Tap the 618 and then reject from the 618 and then start rolling down. This would be the only zone that I would be interested to sniper a short and put stop loss instantly behind the back of the rejection. If you do come down, I would be extremely defensive with stop, realizing that we are uptrending. But if this plays out, we're coming down to claim this low right over here at $98,000, which is giving you a good projection. That projection explanation has to do with a possible ABC movement here to the downside, especially considering the amount of longs that eventually have their stop losses down here, which are likely going to be fetched in the next coming hours. If we do drop down there, I would not be surprised. It's just because of the amount of longs that have entered here, and we are forming bearish CVD divergence. So yeah, this does look like a full recipe of a kind of a bull trap situation. This is a perfect scenario for a bull trap. Now, yeah, the best levels are those ones right over here. We're getting supported from the neckline, probably tricking here the bulls. Let's see if we do get that push to the upside. And this area is just not going to be an easy execution. You know, I am aware of, you know, what if this is a wave 1 and a wave 2 and, you know, you're in your wave 3. It is also a possibility. I can only show you the main levels of interest that I do have here, which would be $100,700, which we do have that 1-to-1 extension also with the golden pocket from the local drop. We do have 5 waves down here. It's very 3-wavy. The bearish CVD divergence are absolutely insane. There's over 50 million long positions entering in the last 30 minutes. Open interest is going up without a doubt, but we do have too many longs entering here. Bearish CVD divergence, and the overall local structure for me still looks, you know, in this case, you know, bearish as an A wave. So yeah, let's see if we do get that reaction at this zone. If we do blast off, right? If we do blast off, I would consider the daily open. Today's open with the 7/8 Fibonacci could be a zone, as it is going to be going to the 1236 1382 extension from this wave, considering it's the most common zone for your C wave instead of a 1-to-1. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting how we push up there. If we just break and we explode and we head up to $100,000 to $102,000, then we're just going to have to leave that price action heading to higher levels. Okay. And then we're probably looking at something else. So overall, paying attention to CVD, paying attention to CVD divergence. We are bouncing pretty nicely from the neckline. Neckline is getting that bounce. And what is going to be interesting here, either a late short if we do not get an extreme massive breakout, is testing ever so slightly the highs here. Testing ever so slightly the highs and maybe double topping right there. Considering that this could be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 double top, and then you start breaking down very aggressively, right? We've seen this before, and it does look like this could be the zone where the price can reject. So I'm going to be waiting patiently. I'm going to set some alerts on the highs here, and this is very local, guys. This is very, very local scalping day trading scenarios, just like we do every day. Yesterday, same scenario, we're looking for this zone to get a bounce or break down. This could have been an ABC, and then we move down, or it could be a double 1, 2, or a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 forming a contracting move. But overall, the double 1, 2 was also a scenario, basically taking out the highs. And if we break out, then happy days, we hold on to that long position. So we do yeah, let's just wait. I'm going to set some alerts and see if we do move up. If we do reject from here, I have to say, then so be it. So be it. I really want the price action to get into our interest zones. I'm just going to set some alerts at the highs, and then we're going to go through the comment section and we'll analyze the local situation on some altcoins. Alerts are set above the highs, and let's see how we break out with power, with rejection. Are we going to continue forming bearish CVD divergence? Only thing I'm considering is the open interest that is very, very high, and we could push up slightly higher levels. Okay, so overall, the alerts are set. Shout out to Aiden in the Legends trading community. providing that long setup today on Bitcoin. The long setup has been explained at the beginning of the stream, guys. Anybody that enjoys the education and you know, the explanations on the different setups, all of the profits have been taken literally from this long position right there. Very, very nice to claim the highs. Shout out to Aiden. This is something that we provided in the Legends trading community on Discord. Guys, if you are interested in trading Weeks, I am using it. I am loving it. It's absolutely great, highly liquid, and you just need an email and a password, guys. You do get 50% fee reduction, $20,000 deposit bonus, but I think what is very interesting here is the fee reduction, guys. You get 50% fee reduction only using my link in the description, guys. Check out Weeks because you just need email and password and you can start trading in minutes, okay? Now, I've set the alerts. I would want to see higher levels, some kind of local double top, remaining patient. If we blast off and go to higher levels, then so be it. And if we do roll down from here, then so be it. I'll have to say I missed out the short, right? So we're going to remain a little bit patient because this would be the interesting zones, right? The 618 right over here from the drop, which is with the one-to-one extension from this move for a speculative ABC, right? We're looking at the end stages of the C wave and then stop rolling down. Oh my goodness, what's happened? Well, we kind of want to predict that movement, right? But the levels are the levels. So we'd remain patient for that level. And if we do blast through, then the next level I would be interested is the daily open with the 7/8 Fibonacci, which I will treat as a swing failure pattern level. If we are above the level, I'm not interested. As soon as we get below the level, I will possibly trigger a short position with stop loss at the highs and speculate on that rollover. I mean, this would be a relatively, you know, decent move up, almost coming to the highs. So we want to be a little bit cautious. Also, we need to take into consideration, I mean, a flat move is really not in the cards just because we have a 5 waver here. So it's either going to be a 2 wave or a B wave. Yeah, I'm speculating more on a B wave just because this does look pretty powerful to the upside. And if we do zoom out ever so slightly, yeah, what I would love to see, yeah, I'm leaning on the side that it could be more a B wave than a second wave, than a wave 2. Yeah, because this looks very impulsive. This does look quite impulsive. 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 4 5. You got the A wave here in 5 wave. You got the B wave formation here, and boom, you claim the lows right there with an ABC kind of movement. That's the highest probability. A wave 2 is, I think we have low probability on that wave 2 just because this does look impulsive. I would still lean on the correction here and that we are going to go to higher levels in the next coming days. And the ABC flat, I will not consider it just because we have a 5 wave move on the A wave, and in an ABC flat you want 3 waves on an A wave, 3 waves on a B wave, and then the 5 waves down in your C wave. And we have 5 waves in the A wave, giving a low chance for the ABC flat. So let's see, I've got the alert set at the highs. It would be nice to go ever so slightly higher. This would be a very, very short C wave. So trading plan is created, and let's see if we hit those levels. Let's go right away through the comment section. Say hello to the beautiful community. How is everybody doing? Let's go. Are we going to take a look at some altcoins today? There is a little bit of news that I want to go through as well, which is very interesting, but I'm not sure if the people are more interested in charts. Let's take a look at some, maybe some 100x long, says somebody here. Guys, trade responsibly, please. I know a lot of people must have got burnt on that drop. I did get a few DMs, guys. I did get a few DMs because, I mean, this was Bitcoin, but altcoins got wrecked. You know, whoever's on the wrong side of the market is getting liquidated with this move. I didn't do anything in the weekend, you know, just very much enjoyed the volatile move down. Was surprised with this volatile move down throughout Sunday. But anyway, stay very, very defensive, guys. Trading is you know, it's a ferocious market, right, in crypto and Bitcoin. If you are on the wrong side of your analysis, you need to have stop losses, small stop losses. I can get stopped out 4 times in a day and it won't even be a scratch on my account, right? So, you know, maintain risk, good risk management. Always. We have 𝗬𝗏𝘆 here in the comment section. Shout out to 𝗬𝗏𝘆, my man. Where are you? I can see you. I've seen you somewhere. Let's go. It's time for comment section. I want to know 𝗬𝗏𝘆's opinion on this movement. Odin, how are you? Hi, Andy. How to add other exchanges CVD. How to add other exchanges CVD. On exchanges, there is a way of putting it on TradingView. I mean, it should be a paid option. I've used CoinGlass. I've used ExoChart as well. You do have your CVD here, mainly on Bybit, depending on the exchange that you use. But AGGR.trade is for free, and you can add up all of the exchanges, right? In this case, in the yellow, you have Bybit, and in the blue, you have many different exchanges such as Binance, OKX, and rest of it. So, yeah, anyway, let's go through the comment section. Let's go. I do think that, you know, the trading plan for me, the next trading plan, because I've already traded today, but the next trading plan would be this one, right? That's the beauty of day trading. You can get into one trade, you can get into 2-3 trades, right? Shorts and longs. More downside or pump now, says Lou. For the moment, we realized the high probability that you could get this leg to the upside. My goodness, if we start dropping from now, it is what it is. This was not an easy short trade to enter, but I can already tell you that if we do break down and we claim this low, there will be another moment to jump in on a short, right? If I don't short here, I might short down here. And I will explain why. How could I get into that short? If we lose this low, this will invalidate the possibility of a wave 1-2, 1-2, move up, or a literally, yeah, it just invalidates the impulsive move to the upside, right? Any impulsive move that you were going to form, right? Meaning that this would be the confirmation of that ABC. If you lose this low, it is unlikely that this would be an ABC flat. I mean, this has gone terribly high for that flat target. Got lots of fib levels here on the chart, guys. You need to forgive me here. Let's reverse this. Yeah, you got above the 382 Fibonacci, almost hitting the 1.618. So that would be rare for a flat. I wouldn't consider that if you take out this low, that you're going to bounce here and move up. I would consider that this is going to take out this low, and it might get a bounce, and it might just roll back down. So I would be very much interested in jumping in the possibility of forming a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? I'm literally looking for this kind of same structure. I mean, this was beautiful. I'm not sure if it will be as beautiful here, but I'm literally trying to get into a wave 2 to get into the wave 3 if this were to be the bearish case. And that would be a confirmation. If you take out this low, the bullish case is invalidated. This would be extremely rare to be an ABC flat right there and then get a bounce, okay? I think that would not be the case. That would not be the case just because the B wave has extended above the 1382. Okay, so, you know, it's all about what the heck happened here. Man, what happened? Right, this is going to be an issue now to get all the drawing tools off the way because I changed the chart. Anyway, so yeah, this would be another plan. I eventually want ever so slightly higher levels to get into a short. This was not an easy short. I want to be hitting some fib levels, some extensions, preferably above the 1-to-1. This base is getting supported. If you want to get into a long position based on the inverted head and shoulder, guys, you know what to do. You put your stop loss beneath the neckline. I don't know, somewhere here, you're long here. And if you are a head and shoulder pattern trader, There's no magic to this. Your target zone is coming to 101,400. And if you believe that this resistance is going to hold as support here, then you know the deal. You know, you're basically looking at something like this. I need to point out that I'm not interested in this setup, but this would be looking like something like this. Possible projection if you're a pattern trader. I mean, I would like higher. I'm looking for a short. I would like higher. I am not getting into this long position. Just being aware that maybe this has been the ABC and we're going to roll down. You know, this. But anyway, any pattern trader, that would be the way on how to trade it, right? With good risk management, you need to, you know, support. You need to believe that this neckline is going to get supported. You know, the moment you start breaking down, you would not want to be in that long trade. I'm not trading it. I strongly believe that we are going to reverse down at some point. So I'm really not interested in any longs right now in this zone based on this three-wave structure. Could it bounce and come up here? Absolutely. You do you, I'll do me. And I'll just share with you what I am looking at and what kind of setups that I'm you know, interested in getting in. So just imagine right now that the price action does break down, right? We do not go higher. We do not hit my interest zones, golden pocket, right? The 1-to-1 extension to get into that short position. And we break down and like, oh, you know, I missed the short. I mean, this has to be a missed short if we were to break down. There's no way I could enter here with good risk management, right? Where I'm putting my stop loss as we pump. You know, should I put stop loss here? No, there's no local double tops really, like proper ones. You know, there's no way I could get into a short position here myself. So I will consider the next level as a possible double top. I would consider this scenario and then roll down. I would consider that. And the main reason why is because, you know, you could be forming that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is on the lower time frames. I just explained, right? Where you got that ABC and then you roll down. Especially because you have insane bearish CVD divergence, which is, you know, too many longs entering on Bybit that could get wrecked. All of that liquidity is sitting beneath $98,000, which is, you know, that's what we got, right? There's slightly more liquidity beneath those lows that were formed today. So this could be a pretty nice trade. I'm going to remain patient, and if the price breaks down and you know, I miss out on the short, I will be creating another plan. And the next plan would be, if we lose that low, I am looking for your first initial wave here. And the first little bounce, I want to speculate that it's going to be a wave 2 because I'm expecting a wave 3, 4, 5, right? And just sweep up those lows with a pretty intense move down. So, you know, if I do miss the short from higher, I will be trying to jump in a wave 2 here. Look for the impulse, especially to validate that short trade, we need to take out this low, because by taking out this low, it invalidates the bullish continuation, right? Which could we could continue up, guys. We could go to higher levels. This is just a plan and a possible projection based on this analysis, right? Which maybe is completely wrong, but it doesn't really matter, right? If you're a good trader and you have good risk management, I'm telling you the exact levels that you want to enter and how you get enter on the rejection with your stop loss. If this goes up to $104,000, I was in the wrong side of the market, right? But I'm not losing significant amount of money, right? I missed out on, well, I got into the long trade here, but this was a day trade. It was literally getting above here to the highs. If it were to continue up, I basically got peanuts from that position, right? So this was a day trading setup, which already the profits have been taken from that day trade. Right? It's a nice little move here, right? It's technical. It's day trading. That's what we do best. That's why I got into that long trading setup that Aidan did provide very nicely in detail in the Legends trading community. If you want to join the Legends, guys, you got the 4th link down below. You got the modules to learn everything that you need to know based on the analysis, prepare your setups, and you do have access to the Discord where we literally go with updates every single day. And, you know, there's the setups channel, of course. That's the main long position from today. Let's go right away through the comment section, and I've got the alerts. I'm gonna set some alerts down here on the breakdown. So alerts to the upside and alerts to the downside, and this is gonna happen at some point, right? I'm gonna be very, very careful. If you move up, you're going against the trend. If you want to get into short, right? You need to be very, very good with your risk. And if you break down, if you take out this low, I would be more interested in looking for the short on the bounce, on the first local bounce, right? So let's just wait and see. The alerts are set. It is time for more comment section. Nice to see you, Sand, my man. Anybody? I did a poll yesterday on who got into a long position from this VWAP, 50% Fibonacci. This was absolutely beautiful because, you know, this played out very, very nicely, right? We took the highs, and I think over 40% of people out of 350 votes or 400 votes we had managed to jump into the long, right? People getting into the long, understanding where the stop loss is, understanding the projection to the upside that we could have. And it makes me happy, guys. You know, I'm going to do this a little bit more often. You know, look for day trading setups. And, you know, if it's a stop loss, it's stop loss, right? We're managing risk. We just take that hit. And if it's profits, then it's profits, right? We look always for that 3-4 to 1 risk reward at least, right? If it is 5-6, then even better. But overall, you know, just so you get the idea and you get your feet wet, right, on how to create those plans and become a profitable trader, right? It's all about creating solid plans, solid analysis, realizing the different projections that the waves could have on the chart, and just getting ready, guys. Okay, so overall, we're going to do that more often, right? We'll do that more often. We are not alone, says True. True what? That's not against slanted head and shoulder. That's not a giant slanted head and shoulder, is it? No, it's not. It's not a very beautiful one, by the way. This is a trade that I would not get into a long here on this breakout, especially looking at the bearish CVD. This is insanity. This is a full recipe to get the absolute insane dump down to claim this low. I can tell you that. Okay, so this is why this is not a good idea long position, in my opinion. If you want to jump in, then make sure to manage risk. That's all it takes. Hello, legends. Andy's mic is extremely bullish today. It is. Does it sound good? I hope so. Let's see how many likes we do have, guys, because I want to see the likes before I go through the comment section. Okay, I can see Devil. Where's Devil? Crypto Big Brains, thank you very much for joining. Yes, 1-to-1 is also a C-wave target. Yes, it is, my man. Of course it is. 1-to-1, right, which we almost barely scratched. We almost barely scratched that 1-to-1 extension. I mean, the 0.618 is a target, right? The 0.618 is also a target. Basically, taking out the highs of the A wave is a target, right? So yeah, you literally, this is already acceptable for a C wave, right? If your C wave takes out the A wave, there we go. We're getting the breakdown. We did not get the bounce. Oh man, this does look like, it does look like that we could be breaking down. I have to say, this was not an easy short, It was not an easy short trade to jump in right there. So now the plan changes. I did not manage to enter the short from here. So what I am looking at next, let's put a little bit of background music, guys. I'm not sure. Yeah, this finished. So as we do move here to the downside, the next plan is simple, right? The good thing about day trading is you create several plans, right? You create several plans. If not A, then B. If not B, then C. If not C, then D, right? And it goes along like that. So as we do get this movement to the downside and we take out this low, I hope that we do get some kind of bounce, because I would really treat this as a first initial wave 1, wave 2 of some kind, wave 3 to absolutely destroy the lows from today. I want to get into that wave 2, but I need this low to be taken. I cannot speculate on a short right there. And the main reason why, because this could still be bullish. You're forming higher lows. This could still be bullish. This could be a double 1-2. You get a 3, 4, 5, and then suddenly the price is extremely bullish out of nowhere. And this was a double 1-2. So it's a moment to remain patient. There's no shorts on this bounce that I would take either. Okay, I'm not going to short here the back test of this level. For me, it's not a plan. The plan for me, next plan, and I'm looking for successful plans here, right? Because anybody could jump into a short right there. Hey, this played out. I want to know your risk management. I want to know your stop loss. Why did you enter there, right? Why did you rush in that trade? Or did you, was there another level? Was there an order block? Was there, you need reasons to get into a trade. You cannot randomly jump into a trade. And this is why I did not randomly jump into a short right there, because we were breaking out, right? I want to see higher levels ever so slightly. 1-to-1 extension would be, perfect with the golden pocket, and then speculate on the reaction, jump, stop loss, and then, possibly get this leg down that we've had, but actually going ever so slightly higher levels to a confluent zone. We didn't get up there, so now the next plan for me is taking out this low, and I will be paying attention on the little bounce that is created, okay? Because it does happen. It does happen. When we do take a look at this movement down, the price came all the way up to the 50% Fibonacci retracement. So 50% Fibonacci retracement to the 7-8 would be your interest zone to get into a short. So yeah, if we do take a look at this scenario, and this could be absolutely epic, guys, because what is to follow here could be a pretty decent drop, okay? It could be a pretty aggressive drop where people are going to ask questions. Why did we drop? Was it because of news? Was it because of this? Well, I would have to say it's purely based on technical analysis, right? If we get some bad news to go ahead with the technical analysis, then even better. So we're just about to take this low. This does look very bearish. Yeah, those longs are getting trapped. Those longs are getting trapped here. This was not a good sign that the price was going to healthily, move up to the upside. Big bearish CVDs. And it seems like those longs are going to get wrecked. Now, we've taken out the low. We've taken out that low, which confirms the bearish scenario with high probability to take out the lows of today. So let's see if this bounce, I would love to see some kind of bounce right now, which I would aggressively jump into a short. But I need the bounce. I cannot short down here. Will it get the bounce, or will it just aggressively? And a back test would be the ideal scenario. This would be the ideal scenario. If we move up to this area, that is where I am going to consider a short trade. I mean, this might take, I'm going to set some alerts here above the 382. I'm going to set some alerts right there. I mean, this might happen in the next coming minutes. And what I am speculating on here, worst case scenario, we need to manage risk even. Worst case scenario is that this has been a wave 1. This has been an ABC flat, and we're going to move to the upside. That would be the worst case scenario. ABC flat here. And, look for a short and get stopped out. I would go with stop loss. The overall projection for this would be, I would be looking at something like this, right? Something like this. And you're projecting not only the lows, I would go with lower levels, because I expect the third wave to break down, right? If this were to be a 2 wave, 1, 2, then expect a major boom. So not only the lows is going to be your target, I think we're actually going to go to lower levels. So we are getting that bounce. We are getting the bounce right now. And worst case scenario, like I said, the worst case scenario would be that this is an ABC flat, which I don't think is likely. I don't think it's likely. So I am expecting that bounce to find resistance. Let's take a look at the bullish CVD, the CVD divergence, because I wouldn't like, lots of shorts entering right now. There's no bullish CVDs, which is good, even though with this massive drop on Bybit. Lots of shorts entering right now the market on Bybit. So it does look pretty convincing for this bounce to find rejection. Let's go right away with this scenario on the lower time frames. I need that bounce. I need that bounce. I mean, this might take at least 5 or 10 minutes, but it would be nice to come minimum to the 50% Fibonacci, right? This is the this orange box right over here. This would be the interest zone. It would be nice to form some local bearish CVDs, but looks like that's not going to happen. Let's see if we got that movement up. Set the alerts. Stop loss is going to be the highs. If we hit the 618, well, we got the back test, right? This is a good back test level, because this level at 99,600 has provided support and resistance. And that is the golden pocket, right? That would be epic. That would be epic right there. If we do come up there to that zone. Anyway, I want to go through the comment section, guys, but this is, you know, looking for the internal setups as well. 382 is relatively shallow. 382 is still too shallow. Going to remain patient. See if we get that bounce to slightly higher levels. Yeah. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Anyway, let's go through comment section. I've got the alerts right there. And it's much easier to trigger the short in on the phone as we are doing the live stream. 𝗬𝗍𝘆, my man. I'm not sure if 𝗬𝗍𝘆 is still around, guys. Make sure to destroy the like button. We have that kind of, you know, high probability confirmation here. That we could be going to lower levels to claim the lows of today. Okay, we're getting up here. The 382 Fibonacci. Let's go. Let's go. Let's see. Let's see. It would be nice to get at least above the 50% and golden pocket. And that would be an interesting area. Interesting area. Not the 382. It's still relatively shallow. I mean, this could still be part of the wave one. We claim the lows and then we get the bounce. And then we roll over, right? So, yeah, this is still very, very quick, okay? The timing is still very slow for a wave one, wave two. Slow for a wave three, wave four. This is hours of price action. So, nothing, you know, nothing to happen here very, very quick. But what I am looking at here is that this high will not be taken. And this area will provide resistance. And that we are looking to take out this low over here from today. Preferably your best option is in between 50% and the 7.8, which is in between 99.4k to 99.9k. This would be the interest zone to look for a drop down to the lows of today at 98,000, below $98,000. So let's see. I have no idea what stock market is doing, and I think we don't have. Did we have any news? Oh, we got some news. Yeah, we just got some news 20 minutes ago. That's probably why we got a bit of volatility up and down. Just 20 minutes ago, we did have JOLTS jobs, which probably created this volatility. Yeah, we got the volatile move down just on the news. So, yeah, let's see. I don't like very much the news for trading, but regardless, we're trading the technicals here. So let's see. You got the next alert here. I want higher, guys. I want higher. I want this box right over here to be hit. The alerts are set just at the 50%. And let's go through the comment section. Right? You know, this was not an easy short trade. This was not an easy short, right? We wanted ever so slightly higher. It's not an easy short trade right over there. But now there's another scalp day trade. Let's go through comment section right away. Guys, remember, if you are interested in trading, you do have Weeks, guys. Weeks is an awesome platform. Got into a really nice long trading setup in the Legends trading community today. Provided there with the analysis, it was explained at the beginning of the stream. You do have a great bonus down below and 50% fee reduction. You only need an email and a password. It is the second link down below, guys. Weeks is perfect for all of those people that just want to sign to an exchange with an email and a password, okay? Check it out down below. Okay, we're going to get that move up. Let's go through comment section. The alerts are set, so we don't need to stare on the charts. We can do other stuff, guys. This is the beauty of setting alerts and having your analysis, right? Let's go right away. Is this a bull flag formation? Well, yeah. We did say that this was no bull flag or no nothing. This is no inverted head and shoulder, and this just is not a good long position, okay? This is no bull flag. I'm explaining the analysis and explaining why this long position would be a bad idea. If you want to take the long, just make sure to have a stop loss. But it's all explained. It's all been explained why this was not a good long. My goodness, anybody that was looking at this as an inverted head and shoulder, then not a good idea. Not a good idea right there, especially if they've been using high leverage. This is a classic stop loss level. So you get the stop loss and you get that instant liquidation and instant reaction bounce, right? All on the charts. Press conference on digital assets today. The news is good. I'm not sure if the news was good or not. 𝗕𝗶𝘆𝗽𝗫. We got the alert set. Are we heading up here to the 618? This is going to be interesting. 50% hit. Probably going to take some time to develop. We might get a bit of choppiness in this zone, but I think it's an acceptable zone to take into consideration right now. It's been very, very quick. Been very, very quick. Just hit that level. Almost not actually hitting the 50% Fibonacci yet. Hasn't hit the 50% fib just as of yet. If you entered, it's still pretty aggressive. I mean, preferably we do get to the 0.88. And this could still actually move down, claim the lows, and then get the bounce. This could still be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, this could still take quite some time still to develop. But the whole idea of this is to find resistance in this box area, not claim the highs, which is your invalidation, and claim the lows at some point in the next coming hours. That is what I am looking at here, looking at the charts. Let's go through the comment section. Alerts are set, and say hello. Guys, do we want to take a look at some altcoins? Was the news good? I had from someone, we had 𝗕𝗶𝘆𝗽𝗫 opening 7.6. It's lower than expected. 𝗕𝗶𝘆𝗽𝗫's opening, I think this is actually more bearish. I think this is bearish. It is lower than expected. So overall looks not that good. Anybody let me know. Aptos, look at 𝗬𝗏, please. Oh my goodness, I am scared of looking at I went long at 98,769. Okay. Maybe this is an ABC flat. I'm not going to ask you why you entered a long position here. Maybe this is an ABC flat. This is a one wave, and maybe this is going to break out. I'm not going to say it's a bad trade. I'm not getting into that trade. I'm leaning on the bearish side. And because I've zoomed out, and the highest probability for me zooming out on the local structure of the last 24 hours is that this has been a 5-wave move down. This is corrective. And I think there's a high probability that we're going to break down beneath $98,000 in the next coming hours. That is my point of view. I don't see the... I do see the bullish case, but I think it's very highly unlikely that, this is an impulse and this is an ABC. I really do see this as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave. And, you know, we're probably going to break down very aggressively below $98,000 in the next coming hours. I mean, take that with a grain of salt, guys. I'm just a crazy dude on YouTube talking technical analysis. Less jobs means that we can simulate. Absolutely awesome. Let's see how many likes we do have. And we can take a look at the S&P 500. We can take a look at the ES. Yeah, I'm not sure if this is the S&P 500. Getting a little bit of a movement up. Getting a little bit of a movement up here throughout the last hour. It is pumping ever so slightly. Shall we take a look at some altcoins, guys? There's over 1,000 people on the live stream. If you are interested in Bitcoin technical analysis, and the reason why I believe that we could have a significant move down below $98,000, you want to take a look at the first 30 minutes to an hour of the stream, guys. That's why I give the explanations and the different possibilities. Now, we are going to be going through comment section. I'll give you the interest zones that I would be looking for a scalp day trade, and analyzing the, you know, basically the different plans. It's the first hour, guys. Great education as well, in my opinion, so you can, you know, restructure, you know, different plans for yourself. Let's see how many likes we do have, guys. I want to see how many likes we do have, because if we do not have, oh my goodness, over 1,000 people watching and just 300 likes, I'm out of here, guys. Let's get to 500 likes at least in the next coming minutes. Let's pump up that like button. I am out, guys. Not happy with the like button, so I'm out. I know we're not going to get to 500 likes. That's too much asking, you know, asking for too much here. Anyway, let's go. Got some more alerts here. Got some more alerts on the chart. Yeah, this might look like a big fat mess, guys, I have to say. Too many fib levels, too many scenarios. Does not look too great for the bulls. What is interesting to see, we are not going to be forming bearish CVD divergence. Bullish CVD divergence, sorry. And we do have the higher time frame bearish CVDs. Okay. So, yeah. You know, we do have the bearish CVDs right there. There's no bullish ones. There's no bullish ones. So, yeah, for the moment, the bearish CVD divergence are leading the way. There's no local bullish CVDs. There's no local ones. No local bearish ones. We only have the higher time frame ones. Let's go through comment section. That like button got absolutely destroyed. We pumped up to 500 in almost a minute, right? That was crazy. Anyway, let's go. Come back for some Ethereum technical analysis, says Werner. Ethereum had it was extremely volatile throughout the dump on Sunday, and it just kind of, the chart looks not nice at all. I am late, but like button is smashed. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Much love to you. Lorenzo, dump the like chart. Lorenzo, my man. Love the stream, says GB. Thank you very much. I try and keep it educational. Look at the local scenarios. Higher time frame on Bitcoin is still looking relatively neutral. I would say that there's high probability and that we are going to hit all-time high in the next coming weeks based on the correction. It was explained at the beginning, just giving a little bit of my point of view. But we are day traders and scalpers, so we really focus on what is happening locally to jump into the trades, right? If you say to me, we're going to drop down to 70K by next week, or we're going to go to all-time high next week, right? We really need to focus level to level, because I day trade. I don't swing trade. If I can turn a day trade into a swing trade, hold on some of the position, but we look for internal movements of, you know, on average $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 maybe maybe 4,000. We might get that move as well. But anyway, let's go through comment section. We're getting the push up here. So let's see if we do get to the interesting area. Yeah, let's see if we do get that to that zone. Let's go through comment section. And Andy, si tienes 3 minutos, 𝗖𝗍𝗶, porfa. We got the alerts on Bitcoin going to the 50%, probably the 618 Fibonacci. It is moving up there. What is interesting is a possible, I mean, the S&P 500 is bouncing. S&P 500, we did fill that CME futures gap very, very nicely throughout today. Let's see Bitcoin. Shall we take a look at some altcoins? I really want to focus on Bitcoin, on how we moving up here to this zone. However, I want to take a look at some cryptos from the community. Okay, I want to take some altcoins. I know I'm here for you guys, so let's take a look at 𝗖𝗍𝗃 right away. Let's take a look at 𝗖𝗍𝗃 on the Chartado and zoom out on the daily. Man, wow. Oh my, altcoins have just got absolutely wrecked, right? Altcoins have got extremely wrecked, and wow, what a major pullback. I mean, is this a buying opportunity? I mean, I did scoop up some altcoins, but just for the sake of the major flash crash with high volume. I mean, not in the case of 𝗖𝗍𝗃, but on many altcoins. And what I like about this is, you know, just a brief explanation. This might take weeks to start forming a bottom, okay? I think dead cat bounce. I don't see any instant V-shaped recovery. That's not a typical thing that happens on the chart, right? You can check the history. V-shapes is just not a thing that's going to happen. So I'm just going to give my perspective on the higher time frame. What I do like about, you know, this zone is we are hitting the base of the accumulation. Some altcoins have dropped beneath the base here, right? So it's just not an exact science. We really need to see a bottom formation in the next coming weeks, guys. You know, like a wedgie structure, or you know, basically a bottom formation for several weeks of sideways momentum, which could bring us confidence, right? The good thing about this drop that we had back in July, or you know, basically April, May, June, right, and bottoming out here in July all the way till November, is this came to the accumulation zone, right, from the bear market, and now we've dropped into the accumulation zone from basically the lows from 2024. So, you know, there's some altcoins that actually dip down below this level, okay? So this needs to find a floor. It needs to find proof of support for the next coming weeks. And you can really aggressively, the moment I went aggressive on accumulation on altcoins was in this period of October to November. This is when I aggressively bought many altcoins, realizing what could come around the corner. So we really, I have some altcoins that are at break even, some in a slight loss. My high cap coins are still in a profit eventually, because they hold much better this volatility, right? This is the bad thing about altcoins. If you're looking for those low mid cap coins that you want to get a 20-30x, right, or a 50x realistically in the bull run, they are going to get hurt. And 𝗖𝗍𝗃 is a mid cap. They're going to get hurt, right? In these corrections. Other higher cap coins are going to sustain these corrections. So that is the risk. The downside of, you know, low mid cap coins is very much, you know, there is a high risk, obviously. The upside is incredible, but the downside is also incredible. So I would really remain patient on 𝗖𝗍𝗃. It is an awesome project, okay? It has its own blockchain. I have long time since I haven't taken a look at 𝗖𝗍𝗃, but the whole reason of 𝗖𝗍𝗃 is decentralized streaming, right? Streaming through the 𝗖𝗍𝗃 network. That was the whole idea many years ago. I'm not sure if I haven't been taking a look at what 𝗖𝗍𝗃 has been doing the last year. So overall, it would be nice for a little bit of sideways momentum here to really consider a reaccumulation, aggressive reaccumulation. Find a floor here, and which we can consider. Hey, this is bottoming out right now, and aggressively accumulate, because a lot of the altcoins that I accumulated, the different altcoins, I did accumulate Chainlink in 2022 and 2023, but the other ones that I was speculating for some quick flips mainly were accumulated in this zone of October, November, realizing the bottom formation and then the pop. So we need to find a bottom formation here in the next coming week, because if not, we may be going lower, right? Let's leave it that way. So, you know, we want to, I've got some altcoins that are slightly in the loss, but I'm not looking to add aggressively just yet. I really want to find that bottom formation, right, on altcoins, which I do think there will be an altcoin season. Don't get me wrong here. If you want to buy cheap, you know, this is cheap enough. This is cheap enough. Could it go down to $1.20, $1? It's maybe the case. Just be ready to hold on and accumulate more if you're willing to do so. So let's take a look here at some other different altcoins. Let's take a look at some other altcoins here for the people, for the community. I mean, just a little bit of a higher time frame perspective. Look at BTC. BTC is just basically there, guys. It's basically at the 50%. I do think that the price will likely top out in this area. Okay. And looking for a rollover to claim the lows of today. That is basically my point of view here on Bitcoin. Not much to analyze. Got another alert right there just in case we get another push. And I really want to see the reaction at the 618 Fibonacci. It's going to be very interesting. 618, which is kind of back testing these. It's kind of back testing these these highs, right? Which we did get supported just a few minutes ago. Yeah, if this were to be a flat. If this were to be a flat, right? Because we also analyzing the bullish case, right? If this were to be, what the heck's going on? If this were to be three-wave move, now we really have to have that three-wave move up here. It was a three-wave. There is a slight chance. It would have been nice to actually. We need to go even to the 15-second chart, 30-second chart. That's insane. Did we take out this high? I would still consider it as a fifth wave. We ever so slightly front run that pivot on that move, so it was not a double top. Just looking at really the micro counts here on the possibility. If you see this as a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and truncated fifth wave. Maybe on some exchanges we did take out that high. So there is a way of looking at this as a 3-waver or a 5-waver. If it's a 5-waver, which very much looks like it, this could have been the ABC move. But I have to say, there is a chance for that flat. I mean, this was not a bad long, huh? This SFP was not a bad long if you entered low. You know, this could, and that is if the bullish case plays out, right? Where you have this one wave and you got the ABC flat, and then you just pump in the next coming hours. Only if you entered along at the lows and you're putting your stop loss here and you're actually being defensive with your stop loss. You know, it's, I'm leaning more on the bearish case here, guys, as I explained at the beginning of the stream. Anyway, if you want to take a look at Bitcoin, first 30 minutes to 1 hour, guys, let's just have a good time, and let's take a look at ADA for my man Werner, who is also a legend in the Legends trading community. Let's take a look at ADA. Wow, long time since I haven't checked ADA. Let's take a look at ADA. Woof. I guess we can get, there's some levels and some got something on the chart. Let's take a look at ADA. ADA was actually one of those cryptos as well that whoever's bullish on ADA, this is your zone to accumulate. Right, October, November of 2024 was the best zone. I said you could buy any crap coin that we're likely going to be seeing some pumps. And ADA was a great buying zone, as we can see here, the bottom formation. ADA now, very volatile. We lost this low over here. I'm really skeptical on this, guys. Oh my goodness. You know, this looks awful, guys. It's an awful chart. It's an awful chart because this should have been the moment that we head into a third wave very aggressively. The fact that we did not aggressively pump in a third wave here, exploding out. I mean, in that third wave, you would, you know, in regardless if it was, yeah, well, we did hit the 1.618. It didn't look like it, but we did hit the 1618, which is your common target for your third wave. But if this were to be a third wave, then we have a problem right now. We've overlapped the first wave, right? And this is just not good on its own. It's not good. The only bullish case scenario that there is, which we are kind of expecting, right? Bitcoin dominance has gone through the roof. Bitcoin dominance testing the highs. Holy crap. You know, Bitcoin dominance as continues to the upside. This usually brings the best buying opportunities, but I'm really skeptical on different data regarding the economy and the stock market for a recession. You know, I'm really skeptical because there are signs that, you know, with Donald Trump, everybody's expecting that, you know, yeah, he's going to be the United States going to be the crypto hub. But yeah, there are signs that, you know, maybe not, right? Maybe not. Maybe he's gonna F up, right? Anyway, regardless, the scenario of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right, for ADA is invalidated. So the only extreme bullish case scenario that you have left, which is possible, I want to believe that the altcoin season is going to happen in the next coming months and we're going to see an explosive move to the upside, is that we are forming a double 1-2. This is similar to the explanation of Bitcoin yesterday, right? But this is the daily time frame. This is going to take many days, weeks to develop if we are leaning on the bullish side, right? A double 1-2 where you then form 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. And this is basically what we're speculating on ADA right now, because the most bullish case scenario, which is a normal impulse in a 1-2 and then the third wave just blows your socks off, is not the case anymore for ADA, right? So if we are, and the bearish case scenario, which nobody wants to hear about, is this has been an ABC and we're just going to see a multi-year bear market from the peak that we had in 2000 and 2021, right? Where you're forming a larger bear market till, you know, crypto recovers. This happened to XRP. This did happen to XRP. XRP formed a 3-wave move, you could arguably discuss, or, you know, basically did not take out all-time high. It was, you know, it was still very explosive, but you did not claim the previous all-time high from 2018, late 2017, and you literally, you know, missed out in claiming the previous all-time high, and the bear market continued, right? This was a bear market still. So it's like poof. That would be horrible for many investors, right? If that were to be the case for ADA, right? Where got some alerts here. Bitcoin coming to the interest zone. I want to see a bit of choppiness here. I want to see a bit of choppiness on on Bitcoin. Let's go to the 1 minute time frame. There is something that I do not like about this movement down. And this movement down is, yeah, it doesn't look extremely 5 wavy in an impulse. You know, there is I have a little bit of doubt here. It does look pretty 3 wavy, because you got all of this movement here and a correction here, and then this leg down. There's not a clear 5 wave count here looking at the price of Bitcoin. So it would be nice to see a nice, you know, something like this, right? And you have all of this being either a double 1-2, 1-2, and then, yeah, it's very, very 3 wavy. It's very, very 3 wavy, which, you know, is not Yeah, I mean, you can count it basically. There is a possible count for a 5 wave move down based on this small little consolidation on the lower time frame. But anyway, we ain't going to go too aggressive on the lower time frame. You know, still looking at this possible area for a rejection. Let's take a look at some other altcoins here. But ADA is this is the danger about this, right? If you didn't blast off in a 3rd wave, going to much higher levels, and you get down beneath this pivot, you know, this no longer looks impulsive unless you are forming a double 1-2. And a double 1-2, well, you want to form a higher low at some point, you know, around about the 61878 Fibonacci from this low, which kind of, you know, is where we bounced on that, you know, big wick. I mean, this could have been the low. You know, you're just going to get a little pullback, and then you're going to start recovering in the next coming weeks. There is a chance, let's leave it that way. There is a chance for a double 1-2, and then we create the 3rd wave, and happy days, we enter the bull run looking at the higher time frame, right? We still continue the bull run. This is going to be very interesting. Very interesting. This is the zone that I do expect the price of Bitcoin to reject. Would be nice to get ever so slightly higher levels. Would be nice. Just for risk management purposes. Let's go through looking good for a potential weekly bullish divergence. Let's take a look at 𝗖𝗿 right away here from 𝗖𝗿𝘆𝗽𝗽𝗫. Shout out to you, my man. Long legit follower. 𝗕𝗏 network as well. Still holding my 𝗕𝗏 coins. 50% of them. Did manage to profit nicely from 𝗕𝗏, but they came back to entry zone with the drop from Sunday. Let's take a look at some altcoins, guys, and try and come to the conclusion. 𝗖𝗿. Let's take a look at 𝗖𝗿. 𝗖𝗿 swept up the lows. You know, this was the overall scenario, but another scenario could be playing out here, which is a WXY, which is sweep up the lows. And I have to say, when you get to the lows of a higher time frame low, I mean, this did create a beautiful swing failure pattern. This could be the area where it brings the best opportunity, right? Still not buying here aggressively. I want to see some signs of bottom formation, right? Sideways momentum on 𝗖𝗿. I did buy some 𝗖𝗿. I'm holding on the loss. I'm not going too aggressive right now. This is on spot bags. I want to wait for a little bit of more information or a slight sign of strength. First initial breakout right? Or sideways momentum for a reaccumulation. The moment we go sideways in the next coming weeks, if it is going to be the case, then eventually I see that as an epic opportunity to scoop up, right? So yeah, nothing too much on say here. Bitcoin is pumping. Yeah, Bitcoin's coming into the zone. It's bouncing. It's pumping into the zone. It's not pumping at the moment. It's just in the area. I expect choppiness here. If we do form a little bit of a triangle here, I would consider just remaining patient. It's getting choppiness here on this area. Let's take a look at CVD. No bearish CVDs, no bullish CVDs. We only still have these bearish CVD divergence. Let's see how we react in this zone. I mean, this is just choppy. It's very boring. I'm not sure what stock market is doing, but it's just pretty much slowly moving up here. It's probably going to take quite some time. And if we do break out from this area, then I have to come to the conclusion that this was an ABC flat, which I'm not leaning on this being the highest probability, I have to say. Pretty much boring at the moment, but it's in that zone of resistance. Let's take a look at 𝗬𝗍 right away. We've got some altcoin lovers here. 𝗕𝗏. Let's take a look at 𝗬𝗍. Why not? What's going on with 𝗬𝗍? I think 𝗬𝗍 got an epic bounce. Epic bounce on 𝗬𝗍 after the Sunday crash. Monday, early Monday, or big wick here. We're gonna take a look at the lower time frames here on these altcoins legends. But what I don't like, what is good about this, that you did not hit the golden pocket. I think there's going to be another wave here to the upside on 𝗬𝗍 to claim all-time highs at least one more time in the next coming weeks. I'm looking at this as a possible 1, 2, 3, fourth wave not hitting the golden pocket, which would be the invalidation. We're basically overlapping your wave 1. So there is a chance of this being your wave 4 still. And let's just analyze here the local time frames. It looks pretty epic. Looks pretty good. 𝗬𝗍 is, we know that 𝗬𝗍 ecosystem is exploding. It does have a high chance here for a kind of a bump and run scenario, right? If we break here on 𝗬𝗍, this could be looking very good. This could have been the end. Most of the times you do finish with a large amount of volume, a corrective move. The high amount of volume could signal a bottom formation, right? You get the liquidity event, you have a major crash, and that forms the bottom formation, and then you get the recovery. So a breakout from here, from this trend, keeping it nice, easy, and simple for the viewer, could be a kind of a bump and run scenario. You get the volatile crash, you get the bump phase, consolidation, and you break out the resistance, right? Anybody that's not aware of a bump and run scenario is basically you have a downtrend and then you create a bump phase, you consolidate or you V-shape into the resistance, and then you flip it into support, and you have the full reversal. It is something that looks interesting here on 𝗬𝗍 when we take a look at the higher time frames as well, right? Where, you know, this could still be that fourth wave, and this could literally form that fifth wave in the next coming weeks as your last extension of the bull run, guys. If you're looking for a 5x or 10x, you know, this, I think these coins are not going to give you that 5-10x plus, right? We're probably looking for a 2x on average here. Let's go right away and take a look at 𝗬𝗏. 𝗬𝗏, another great crypto. I think 𝗬𝗏 did get a pretty decent correction on Sunday. It did get a pretty steep pullback. Let's take a look at 𝗬𝗏 right away and see what the heck is going on with 𝗬𝗏. We got some stuff here on 𝗬𝗏. Incredible sweep of the lows on the higher time frame, right? We got the all-time high, not all-time high here, sorry, my bad. Or is it? Yeah, not all-time high for 𝗬𝗏. We claimed this local high and now claimed the lows on Sunday for that sweep of the lows. Can we consider 𝗬𝗏 almost really tapping the highs here from that wick? Little bit slight overlap right there from that, but yeah, still front running the golden pocket, or ever so slightly hitting the golden pocket from that leg up. Look at this, almost a resistance support flip, but to the exact cent here. Can we consider this still bullish on 𝗬𝗏? 𝗬𝗏 does look like we could be forming that bump and run scenario as well, right? We could actually consider this as an ABC flat. This could have been your A wave, B wave, C wave. Claim the highs, claim the lows. This is ready for a full-on reversal. It is very much possible. Very much possible. It does look pretty good. Now, a breakout of this trend would be giving you confidence and confirmation, right? Bump and run right over here. If you break out trend in the next coming days, we could be seeing that pretty nice reversal, right? This is going to take a long time, in my opinion. This is going to take several weeks at least, right? This is no fast bump and run. You need to break trend. This is probably going to reject from this area. Might get a dead cat bounce. Might come down to the lows here. You know, what's going to be interesting on 𝗬𝗏 is considering the next movement down, because what you would be looking at here is speculating on an ABC flat, and this being your first initial wave 1, you form your wave 2, and then boom, wave 3, and you break out in the next coming weeks. This is the 1 hourly time frame. So I mean, if we do zoom in on lower time frames in the case of 𝗬𝗏, yeah, you could arguably discuss that this has formed a 5-wave move to the upside. You got a bit of a double 1-2 here, 1-2, 1-2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, and now you're forming your ABC, right? So what is going to be very interesting here is the correction. You know, if this has to be the low, then your wave 2 is not going to be looking great, guys. Wave 2s usually get a massive pullback, at least to the 50% Fibonacci, to the 7/8 Fibonacci zone, right? So, and if we are looking at this as an A wave, a B wave, then the C wave, right? Which is literally what I'm looking for here for the price of Bitcoin. So it does not look too exciting on the altcoins at the moment. It doesn't look too exciting. In the case of 𝗬𝗏, I think we could claim the lows that we formed on you know, basically early this morning with this little bounce. It's going to be interesting to see, but you know, I would prefer getting into that wave 2, right? I would really prefer get into the, you know, the correction here, and then look for buying 𝗬𝗏 or looking for a swing long position. I mean, that would be the ideal scenario if this were to be the low. And before you get the breakout confirmation on the bump and run, instead of longing the breakout on your third wave, try and get into the third wave, right? On the second wave, right? The end of the second wave. That would be the ideal scenario. And this would be kind of a back test of the lows of this range. 50%, 618 maybe. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting the next couple of days, because we might get that pullback on the altcoins, and then they bottom out, and then they get the reversal, and then you finally form that bump and run. You know, lots of altcoins lagging behind, especially these higher cap coins. So I would want to see preferably a little bit lower on HBAR if possible. If not, you get the breakout, right? Whatever correction here you form in the next coming days, you get the breakout, and this breakout will be looking very, very interesting for the price to actually recover with success, right? Bitcoin buy. We have at layer Andy at alt layer. What is alt layer? Alt layer. We can take a look at alt layer. What is this one? Is it a low alt layer? Alt layer. 130 million. This is a low cap, almost a mid cap. Oof, this one's getting wrecked. Alt. Let's take a look at this one on the chart. Why not? Oh, this one's got wrecked. This one's got wrecked. I mean, if you are a believer, I have no idea what this project is. Like most of the altcoins, I only know the ones that I buy. But if you are a strong believer, guys, remember, it's accelerate scaling for Web3. Roll-ups. If you are extremely bullish on this project, I mean, this is at very, very, very low levels, right? Let's leave it that way. This is at very, very low levels. It's come down the bear market lows. Well, basically the lows of 2024. This was launched in 2024. You know, I don't know. Maybe this could be an interesting DCAing level. You would want to see a little bit of sideways momentum, like a double bottom in this range for the next coming weeks, and then really believe that this is going to pump, still dropping down pretty aggressively from those lows. But if you believe in the project, I'm not sure if you want to DCA this, or do you want to look for leverage longs? You know, for leverage longs, I think it's pretty aggressive still. Let's go right away. Andy, my man, check please. DSYNC. Let's take a look at that one right away. Bitcoin moved. Bitcoin still, yeah, this bounce is getting very boring. This bounce is getting very, very boring. Let's look at some altcoins. Check DSYNC. What is this one? DSYNC. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I'm getting lost here. DSYN. Okay. Destra network. Fully diluted, 250 million. This looks interesting. Coming down to the base. DSYNC. On MEXC, let's take a look at this. Very volatile, not much of a successful breakout coming down here to this base. Let's take a look at the fixed volume profile, because we probably bounced at the point of control from this range. Point of control of the range, getting that bounce here. You know, there's just, to be honest, on these coins, guys, there's just real no, I have to say, this has to be forming some kind of a bottom formation here, sideways momentum. You know, this is still aggressively moved down. It did claim the lows, so overall the lows, yeah, have been claimed. You're getting that nice little bounce, but I would really want to see sideways momentum here, or at least a breakout of the trend. You know, if we do get that breakout of the trend, you could see a significant reversal, right? Just like this breakout of this trend right over here, right? Which got a pretty significant reversal. As long as you are below the trend, you know, you're still downtrending. So, yeah, there's no quick. I mean, unless you're a sniper and you longed here or you bought at the point of control from this range, you know, there's just no. This is still downtrending. You're probably going to get some resistance on this crypto, and yeah, you got a big resistance zone here at this base, which is basically where you're consolidating throughout the pump from Monday and today. Bitcoin, not much, guys. This is the level of resistance. I mean, this is still shallow. It is a bit shallow. I mean, if you entered a short here, you know, I prefer ever so slightly higher to the 618. I mean, 618 was almost hit. Just to manage risk much better. A small position is acceptable. Almost, yeah, we did hit the 618 Fibonacci actually. Yeah, I mean, this was an acceptable area to look for a short and look for the projection down. Okay, so I mean, that was the whole plan. It's getting very boring right at the moment. Very slow uptrend, choppy. So not doing much at the moment. Bitcoin analysis has been provided the first 1 hour of the stream, guys. Anybody that is joining right now, make sure to check out the first hour of the stream. Okay, that's where we cover Bitcoin on the local ranges and the, you know, bearish case scenario. That's the one that I'm leaning ever so slightly on, and the bullish one, which could this be an ABC flat right over here, and the price just moves to the upside, which I think is the unlikely scenario in my opinion. But overall, the analysis has been provided at the first hour of the stream. Okay, and if you want to check out Bitcoin, we do a whole entire hour on Bitcoin. Okay, like button is getting absolutely destroyed. Absolutely amazing. DXY is dumping. Okay, that is good. The dollar index is dumping. I do have a chart of the dollar index, and I do believe that the dollar index is going to be bearish, which should be bullish, okay, for Bitcoin, right? It should be bullish for Bitcoin and the crypto market. Why do I believe that the dollar index will manage in the next coming weeks to lose this support zone? Is because there is a way to count the waves here to the downside on the dollar index from the highs that we have here, the DXY. You can technically count a 5-wave move down. Okay, inside of the third wave, you have a perfect micro count of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And then you have the next 4, 5 right over here, as you do have a double 1, 2. So you basically have a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. And what is very interesting on this is the A, B, C. You got the 3 waver in the B, and then you got A, B, C right there, hitting round about the golden pocket from the highs to the lows, right? Golden pocket from here. If you're counting this as an impulse and this is a corrective structure, I mean, this would be ideal for 2025, right? To get that, you know, Bitcoin bull run continuation, smash through all-time highs, go to $150,000, $200,000, right? This is kind of the perfect recipe. So we are getting resistance at the golden pocket on the dollar index, and I do think there is a chance of the dollar index, you know, losing, right, the resistance, the support basically right now, and enter that next wave to the downside throughout 2025, which will be good for Bitcoin and crypto in general, right? So I mean, let's see if that does happen. Bitcoin Cash, analysis on Bitcoin Cash. Let's take a look at Bitcoin Cash right away. Why not? Bitcoin Cash. BCH. Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin Cash just swept the lows right over here. what is interesting about this one, and if Bitcoin does recover in the next coming weeks, I do think that looking at Bitcoin Cash, BTC is pumping. BTC is pumping. Oof. BTC is pumping. It is pumping. It is getting to the limit zone here. It is pumping as we speak. Hitting the 7.8. It's hitting the 7.8 right now. I mean, this is a perfect zone in my opinion. This is a perfect level. This is, oh, the 7.8 would have been an awesome entry. Yeah, I mean, this is the limit zone. This is the limit zone, in my opinion, if we are going to roll back down. If we are going to roll back down, this is the 7.8. This is the top of the box. It did pump. Let's take a look at CVD divergence. Oh, CVD longs on Bybit are going absolutely bananas again. 27 million longs just in the last few minutes. Holy moly, lots of longs entering here on Bybit. It's trying to be a fight here for the bulls and the bears. Very interesting price action here. Very interesting price action. You know, I do think that this could be the topping zone. This was a perfect, you know, 7.8 Fibonacci would have been your best option here. Your best option. You know, this is an area. This is an area where the price could reject, in my opinion. If it does not reject, then we need to consider the possibility of the ABC flat. I mean, if you take out these highs, I would have to consider the ABC flat scenario here. You got the movement up in a 5-wave move. And then the ABC flat, which does not look good at all, I have to say. But it is possible. And then you finish your next leg here to the upside. You got your B wave being a flat, which is without a doubt an option. It's without a doubt an option here. I prefer this already being the ABC. I mean, let's take a look at Fibonacci timing here. 1 second from the highs to the lows. Yeah, you did finish after the 382, so you know that there is a chance. If this was not your high, then I'm obviously looking at this as an A wave, the B wave in a flat, and then the C wave still to go to higher levels, and then eventually top out at ever so slightly higher area. Okay, so this would be not an area where I would be interested in any shorts right there. I would just realize that the price could break out here. So yeah, this is like the limit zone. I wouldn't be doing any funny business here of adding to shorts or any of that nonsense. You get stopped out and that is the end of it, and then you know you look for higher levels. This was actually not a bad long position that to speculate on that flat, because if this is going to be a flat, then obviously that's inside of your B wave. You got your A wave right there. This has been your B wave, and then you look for that C wave. Your B wave has been a flat inside of the news, which is very common to see flat structures with the news event, right? You get a pump, then you get a dump with the news, and you just claim the highs and claim the lows. And what you're looking at here is something like this. That is if this was not your ABC. This is why this is like your limit zone. This is a pretty fast ABC, a C wave. So if the bears want to take action, this is the moment to do so without taking out this high, because if you take out this high over here, then you consider the ABC flat, and you're looking at an ABC movement to the upside. So, yeah, I mean, whoever got into the 7.8 Fibonacci could manage risk even better, right? Because that 7.8 is the one that just exactly got the rejection. I mean, this is why fib levels are absolutely awesome, because, you know, sometimes the highest level here is, you know, would be the greatest trade, because you can even manage risk here. And if this is going to be a wave 1 and a wave 2 and then your wave 3, then you're going to get into a wave 3 and you got an awesome short trade at the limit zone of your wave 2, regardless if it doesn't play out. If you treat that 7/8 Fibonacci as a SFP level, your stop loss can be above the high, just above the high. And if this ends up being a wave 3, then you're in for the great trade. You're in for an epic trade here with extreme good risk management. So yeah, there's a few options. If you break out, then I wouldn't, you know, have stop loss much higher than the highs here, just in between 0.88, even the highs. But there is that risk. I mean, this move has been relatively fast to be an ABC. And as we did get this chop, there is a possibility of this scenario. Without a doubt, there is a chance. And you form that B wave, the flat, and then you get a higher push to the upside. So anybody that is attempting the short should manage risk extremely well. This is no zone. If this were to be an A wave and this is a B wave, C waves can really, you know, it's the third wave, and the third waves are the ones that take action, right? So managing risk is the option. And yeah, on the higher time frame, what are the different options on the higher time frame based on the based on yesterday, that we did take a look at this as a pretty nice strong impulse. Based on based on this movement up, this does look very strong, very, very strong. Now, if you were to form, this is very A wavy or one wavy. We are considering it an A wave. Now, this is the scenario where, you know, a B wave here should really top out somewhere in this region. We're not considering the flat structure here. We're not considering the flat because there's a 5-wave move down here. So yeah, overall, if we do get that movement to the upside based on this flat, my next level of interest would be the next level of interest if this is a flat structure, guys, because I mean, we need to consider this scenario. This is a flat, the extension from the low to the high to the low right there. Yeah, it would kind of be looking at the golden pocket. Golden pocket where we have the 2361382. This could be the new zone of rejection. It's kind of a double top scenario. If you were to come up here, I would still consider this being a correction and not a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So my next level of interest would be this zone where we do have the golden pocket from the drop, which is also with the the 1236, the 1382 Fibonacci, the $100,800. That is if we do push up from this level, from this high of today. I would consider this zone as the resistance. Not going to be an easy trade to manage risk. I'm gonna have to wait to see how we develop that movement. Legends, I'm gonna wrap it up for today. Maintain risk. Much love to all of you. make sure to destroy that like button, almost at 600 likes. Thank you very much for joining. Remember, if you are interested in trading, you do have weeks. You do have Bybit as well. Bybit for me has been #1 always. But now I know that a lot of people just want to sign up with an email and a password. And for that, you do have weeks, guys, and you get 50% fee reduction. Okay, so take advantage of that sign up bonus. Thank you very much for joining today, and I will see you in the next one.